You're tuned to viewer-supported television, KLVX, Channel 10 Las Vegas. Educational, informative, entertaining. Part of the public broadcasting service. Portions of the following program on KLVX contain material some viewers might find objectionable. Channel 10 does not recommend it for the very young or the immature.
Another lonely American highway going from somewhere back there into the dim distance far away. So what's so special? Well, I'm not just anywhere. This is Highway 281, an unsung thoroughfare of this nation, a strip that belongs alongside the legend of Highway 66. Look, Highway 281 bisects America. It's the crease, its true center, stretching all the way from Canada down to Mexico. Mid-America, in many ways, has been forgotten in our rush to focus on our coasts. This is flyover country. The people and the land here increasingly a blur. That's a mistake. The land that bounds Highway 281 has been a source of America's richest cultural history. It's given us personalities as diverse as Willa Cather, Henry Fonda, Sitting Bull. Is this the country that should come to mind when we think of apple pie? What in the end are the ingredients of mid-America? Today we're in for a real treat. Midwesterner Alan Schroeder is at the wheel with Bostonian Jimmy Tinkle in the passenger seat. The ultimate American road trip on travel.
A road trip in America is to go east to west, coast to coast. But I had this idea of going north to south from Canada to Mexico, right down the middle of the country. If you fold the map of the United States in half and sort of see where that crease falls, that's more or less the route that's proposed here. I am meeting a guy very soon named Jimmy Tingle, and I know he's a comedian.
We're here. We're here.
If these things work on the grass. We're going to go 4,827 miles, 28 days, 22 motels. With a guy I don't even know, I'll give it a shot. Back. The prairie has all sorts of hazards.
6 states, 2,000 miles. That's a lot of male bonding.
Look at this man.
They wouldn't even hire somebody to carry your bag.
That's what I was saying.
It's ridiculous.
You want me to welcome you to the prairie.
Good. Welcome to deepest, darkest North Dakota. We're happy you're here.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, well, it's nice to meet you.
Since this is PBS's answer to Thelma and Louise, should I rob somebody first and then just jump into the front?
I think you should do a little FEMA crashing before we go here, since it is their answer to
Well,
Thelma
I
and Louise.
killed the guy in the airport. He insulted me.
That's good.
Now let's get out of here.
All right, let's go to Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
We're on our way.
All right, let's do it.
On our way. Just kind of nonchalantly do this. And how we are in the movies. Right? Just kind of slide your way into this baby.
That's good. That's good. You got sunblock?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you're going to need it.
Sunblock, shades. Out of here.
Out of here. The number of times I have been hassled coming back into the United States as an American citizen and an innocent American citizen at that. You know, what are they, a career counselor? I don't need that from a border control. If I need career advice, I will seek professional.
It was terrible, folks. It was terrible. I've never quite been through the limit. They were free. What are your names? Then he asked me, do you... What are we, communist China?
How do I start forever, actually? It's always best to start at the beginning. And all you do is follow the yellow brick road. 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 Follow the yellow brick. Follow the yellow brick road.
For me as a Kansan, The Wizard of Oz is sort of the definitive film. Now, growing up as a child, I actually thought it was a documentary.
First reaction when I met Alan, I just met him, we shook hands. He sounded like he had worked in Boston, but he had never been to Boston. He sounded ready, he sounded energized, he was psyched up, he was ready to go. He was driving, he was behind the wheel, he was in control. I said, okay.
I'm down to 40 miles an hour and I've got my foot on the pedal.
Is that backfire or are they shooting at us?
Well, one of the two. I'll tell you what we do have, however. We've got all of North Dakota at our feet, and we're probably going to get to walk about 5 miles to the next town and see a lot of North Dakota that way.
That's how
we'll have North Dakota listeners.
Did it?
Well, I don't know how many fathers you had, but
Our forefathers settled this land.
all I know is that at this rate we should make Botno by, next week, and I can see it.
Wait, that's a dip. Easy.
No, it's going to pull out there.
All right, cool. I don't know if you want to block this guy's driveway.
Well, I want to turn it off.
Either one of us annoys this whole time. Whose idea was to buy like an antique to go to Mexico? $7,000, We could have bought a limo. We could have went to Mexico in a cab for $7,000. We're in this old car anyway for? It's a gas guzzler. I mean, it is a PBS documentary. Shouldn't we be in a Volvo?
So, Dick, basically, I just need something that's going to get me from Canada to Mexico. What do you got here?
Ellen, any one of these cars will take you from Canada to Mexico. Let me show you what we got.
Okay.
Very, very rare car, Ellen. Very rare car.
Now this reminds me of the Kennedy assassination.
This is a 67.
This ties me back to what I thought of as cars as a kid, and what I always wanted to do, which was, take a trip.
Okay.
And if Jimmy picks up a little something about life in the central corridor of the United States, then that will make me happy.
Here, Ellen, we've got a 1964 Sunliner convertible.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world. The world of 1960. For the first time in history, you'll see 3 completely new kinds of Ford cars for 1960. A wonderful new world of Fords.
What advice do you have for me me as I get in this thing and head down the road for Mexico? First of all, am I going to make it?
Oh, absolutely. The car mechanically is very sound. You're going to find that every place you stop, people are going to be talking to you. This isn't going to be a normal trip.
And if I get 10 miles down the road and it just sort of craps out, can I give you a call?
I just unhooked my telephone. You call me. I'll be there.
All right, Al, move over, pal. I gotta drive this thing. Come on, I'm driving. My turn. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Here we are, a couple of guys in our mid-30s. Between the both of us, we have 34 years of formal education. We have to hitchhike into town, find some teenager that's never been out of Whatno, North Dakota, to tell us, you guys are out of gas. Out of gas. You're a Harvard graduate, Al. A Harvard graduate. Look, at least I knew it was something electrical. Clearly, the gas gauge wasn't working.
Where's Kansas?
That's where I live. And I want to get back there so badly, I'm going all the way to Emerald City to get the Wizard of Oz to help me.
In North Dakota, and I had this sensation that they were out there.
I don't know where ideas come from. But you get the idea from out here.
That's right.
I would have gotten my idea if you hadn't gotten your idea first, actually. So,
you got yours from China, right?
No,
Pagoda, though.
well, no, the pagoda. It was just something to build out of all this wood I have. Stack it up so it get out of the way.
The thing about Henry Lure that appeals to me is that the medium is the message with him.
So build it all in here and then move it out in pieces and put it back
That's all I
together.
do like this.
Uh-huh.
What else you got in the workshop here?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you got these, there's some...
Build it in here and move it out there. Rebuild it. You work alone?
Yeah.
What do you call this thing?
Everybody's been calling my castle for 22 years. I guess I'll keep on calling it that.
It's your castle.
was this the first big thing like this you built?
Oh, no. What else do you want to know? It's not a church, it's not a memorial or something, but if you look up the word temple, I think you can use that.
And how long was the whole process of building?
About 4 years, but I decided the other day I was going to tell you 60,000 days, or 600,000 days. A minute.
The kids get a big kick out of it?
There's quite a few of them come around all the time, once in a while, you know. Well, they don't really realize what all goes into it, but they like to go up in the towers and look around and see what the country looks like and stuff, but...
What about people here in town, Henry? What do they think of all this?
Well, I don't think they ever really told me. They never told me I should tear down or anything.
Do they think you're eccentric?
How would I know?
Do you think you're eccentric?
I don't think so.
You're a craftsman.
Apparently.
Does it mean anything?
I don't know. Just something I did.
I jumped into my crate cause I didn't have a day, so it's roll, 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 roll. I got a thirsty by, and I'm driving for my said ho, 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 ho. It was dancing in the real crazy music filled my ears, so it's
The grain elevator is the kind of key symbol of the plains, and to see one of these things go up in smoke is a great chance. They're burning this one because basically it's outlived its usefulness, and what else do you do with an old grain elevator?
have a coke and a bowl.
You're not running out of hot water, are you? I stayed under quite a long time.
electric water heater dash got it. We're loaded now. We have plenty of hot water all the time.
Underneath the crazy moon and a bell, 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 bell. Just smiles and welcome me. I'm as happy as can be. You rang a bell, 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 bell. If you're young, if you're old.
I'm Sterling Ashby. This is our business called Mr. Merc. This is one of the Mercs we built in 1974. I'll take you over and introduce you to my wife over here. This is Kathy.
Hello.
Other known as
Pretty
Mrs.
good.
Merc.
I get the dirty job. Okay?
We'll take you on through the shop here and show you some of the things that we've collected through the years. And this is our shop in here. We do a lot of deals with custom cars.
Sure, I got a brand new TV and a brand new microwave, but everything else in my house is 1950. Because it works better, looks better, and smells better.
The rest is push-button magic. So whether you bake or broil or stew, the Frigidaire kitchen does it all for you. Don't have to be chained to the stove all day.
The 50s was just a marvelous time to grow up if you were a kid. You just got out of the war, basically, and it's a whole brand new ball game, so to speak. Everything was a total change. I mean, you were running around in brand new pink, bright colors and baby blue as opposed to ugly plaids and little wool orange snuggies that your mother made you wear in the 40s, you know? The American dream is probably making $1 million someplace. Me, I'd rather have that car than $1 million bucks. He's been offered great bucks for that car, and people think we're crazy for turning down $100,000 for that car. But you notice we still got the car. There's no real problem with America. America's a great place to be. Every Sunday morning they have this postcard from Nebraska. For a little town, weird little people, just like me. It's neat. That's what's neat about America, is people in it. You're in it. Welcome to it.
This is Mr. Indian and Crazy Horse.
Today we go to the Devil's Lake Sioux Reservation.
It's 503, and you're listening to Lakota FM 90.1, KILI, the best in the nation.
I don't think you can be a white American traveling through an Indian reservation without feeling some measure of guilt about what happened. Even though we can justify that it wasn't our generation that committed the crimes against the Native Americans, we're all complicit to a certain extent. So what we'll see is a manufacturing plant where they work on camouflage for the military. Angel, thanks for waiting around for us. We had a little car problem, but we finally got to the reservation. I'd like to meet Jimmy Tingle. Jimmy,
How are you?
okay.
Nice to meet you. Good grip, Angel.
Well, she's just back from the Persian Gulf. She's a military person.
My helmet was made here, my Kevlar. It says Double X manufacturing on it.
At any time over there, did you feel like the Iraqis were like the Indians? And like you guys were like the Europeans coming?
I don't know. I guess I kind of felt bad for like the little Saudi Arabian kids. More so, because, I don't know, they didn't really know how to take us. Like, a lot of them would come up to us, they would try to talk, and they couldn't, because none of them knew English. But I guess maybe the Iraqis were kind of like the Indians.
Your heritage is part Native American, right?
Yeah, my mom's Indian, and my dad's white. I'm like 1/8 Chippewa and 1/8 Sioux, so I'm like a fourth total.
I guess I'm a white
one hand, it can be seen as strange that you've got a manufacturing plant where they're putting together camouflage for the military in a place that was conquered by that same American military 100 years ago. But on the other hand, you know, what can I say? Times change, and the jobs are needed, and economic realities prevail.
Yeah, they need the job.
What causes the destruction here?
Well, most of the thing is 80% unemployment rate. And we're so isolated. And we are the second largest Indian reservation in the United States. And although our liquor stores are far away, we have these people called the bootleggers. They go get it, they bring it back on the reservation. And first of the month, it is really bad because everybody utilizes the bootlegger.
Yeah, it was interesting. The Supreme Court recently ruled that alcoholism was not a disease, that it was willful misconduct, right? So I'm saying, I don't know if I can agree with that alcoholism is willful misconduct. I mean, addiction is willful. I mean, some guy lost his house, his wife, his kids, his car, his family, his friends, his job, his prestige. He's passed out in the middle of the street throwing up on himself. Gee, you think he's sick? Nah, stubborn. How you doing, Alan?
Not too bad, Jimmy.
How you feeling, big guy?
I'm feeling pretty darn good. How about yourself?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
We're approaching the burial ground of Sitting Bull.
Yes, we are. We are. This is his reservation up here. The Standing Rock was where he lived and died.
You know what? When we get over there, I hope you can clarify this to me. I get mixed up, you know. Do I say Indian? Do I say Native American? I mean, I don't want to be offensive. I don't know. Do you know the correct term, or how do you feel? I mean, do you think we might be like, you know, look like typical, you know, white guys? Hi, how are you Indians doing? Or do we look very patronizing? How are you Native Americans today? I mean, what are we supposed to say? How you guys doing? Probably the best thing. Not saying anything, just say how you guys doing.
Okay, so this is Ron McNeil's place. He's an administrator at Standing Rock College here on the reservation, but he's a real interesting guy. Grew up in New York, of all places.
He grew up in New York?
Yeah. His parents still live there. And he came back to South Dakota, where he's from. This is his kid, Ronald, in the green here. Hey, Ronald.
What's up?
Yeah, we'll go
Did I scare him?
He's doing. Of course you scared him. Of course you scared him.
You have to start looking at the environment as a living entity. There are many people in our culture are still amongst us today who can talk to animals. My grandma, when I go to see her, sometimes she looks out the window and she says, "You hear that meadowlark, Ron?" I says, "Yeah." Yes, he's talking. He's talking to me in Lakota, and she'll tell me what that meadowlark's saying, and I'm looking at first when she first started telling me, this was years ago, and I would basically say, "Man, Grandma's telling me a story here." But the more I learn, the more I begin to realize that what she's saying is true. The animals talk. The earth talks. We just got to attune our ears and listen. In order to be a leader amongst our people, traditionally, you had to be a spiritual person, spiritually attuned. Sitting Bull was. And because he was, white historians, label him a medicine man. He was never a medicine man, but rather a leader who was spiritually attuned. If you walk down the crowded city streets of New York, and there's a cricket, and he's singing, nobody hears him, because their ears are not attuned to listen to the natural things. But you take a dime or a quarter, you flick it in the air and you let it hit the sidewalk, everybody will turn their heads and they'll look, because that's what they're attuned, that's what they want to hear. I mean, money talks to them, but the earth to them doesn't talk.
Basically a stand-up comic, but I'm going through a lot of changes, and I'm trying not to come at things from a stand-up comic's point of view. I like learning and not pretending that I know everything. So I'm learning more as it goes along.
Welcome to the 54th season of the Black Hills Passion Play. We hope that your stay in our beautiful Black Hills will be a very pleasant one, and that your return home will be safe.
The number of people that come from Canada, it's just amazing how many people we had last week. People from China. We've had them. Well, what's your role? My role? My role is Judas. I do Judas. And this is my first year that I'm doing it. I had a horse accident about 3 years ago and wasn't able to do it. And I've been doing the punches packed. But this certainly gives me greater responsibility in doing this particular role.
Lou, now don't look at the audience when you're out there. So you gotta put your real soul into it. Okay?
That was a good.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good show.
The Nazarene, who with his new teaching undermines the authority of the High Council, the kingdom of God. One of us! How is that possible? He to whom I give the breath, he will be faithful. Who could be so faithless, Master? Tell us openly, Lord, who could it be? Am I he? Thou hast said it, Judas. What thou doest, do with me. Now shall the Son of Man be glorified as God.
This is North by Northwest, and this is a great Hitchcock classic.
I'm trying to remind you that it's your responsibility to help us restore or defend them.
You can never look at Mount Rushmore the same after you see it.
Tonight. All right, all right.
It's pretty obvious Cary Grant wasn't really there when they shot this tonight.
No. Where was he?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Welcome to Mount Rushmore National Memorial. We're about to take off on our last walking tour of the day. It's about half an hour walk. We're going to hit a bunch of different spots along our way. We'll stop at the Avenue of Flags to Borglum View Terrace, where we'll get a good view of the faces. We'll head on down then to the Sculptor's Studio, where we'll have a 15-minute talk on how exactly the mountain was carved.
So, Jimmy, who's your favorite one of these guys?
I gotta go with Jefferson. Do we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights? You know, democracy, man. One man, one vote. Get into it, brother. Get into it. We're at Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Don't you feel it?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't feel it. You know, whatever it is, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? I guess Lincoln was tested more than any of the other guys, so I guess I got to go with Lincoln. But
For preserving the Union?
For preserving the Union, but just as an interesting guy, the guy I would have liked to hung with, Jefferson.
Yeah.
It's one of the most sacred places to us here on earth as Lakota people, and I see it as it's desecration to me. To me, they're criminals. They're criminals who took everything that they wanted to take, believing that it was for manifest destiny. And I feel that as a really strong emotion. I was
feel that I'm insulting the stone people to have to carve a figure of a face, a human, on them because they are beings of their own.
Consumer, you know, we unwrap the corn. Right at my house, we thawed out the corn. Yeah. Nebraska is kind of the end of the Midwest and the beginning of the West.
You got on the fog line a couple times, you crossed the center line, and I decided to stop to check out and make sure things are all right. You've got a couple folks back behind you there that were a little concerned that...
We're weaving down the road?
Yes, sir.
My friend here has got me really excited. We're on our way to Mexico. I apologize for that, sir. We're on our way to Mexico. We're starting in Canada, and we're talking about all these different issues. We just came from a couple of reservations. He's really pulling my chain, you know, with the politics. He's like pushing these buttons. I'm talking about, I'm against the war. I'm for the war. I'm against the war. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting into it. He's talking about alcoholism and drugs. I'm like, my blood is boiling, so that's the whole...
Did you ever see a couple Colorado cars, by the way?
Colorado? No.
Bank robbers? No, sir. They just forgot to pay the motel bill, and we're just kind of trying to keep an eye out for them.
And you know they charged a dirty movie to that room. You know they did.
We'll be keeping an eye out for them.
All right.
Thank you, John. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Cool.
Yeah, it was great.
That's how people are out here. They don't want to hassle you. They don't want to, you know, make your life a living hell. They just want to, they're doing their business. They got something to take care of.
Yeah.
But they're not going to pull this power trip on you.
Yeah, it was nice. I find most cops are nice if you treat them respectfully.
Yeah, but I think a lot of cops have an edge to them.
I want a Corvette.
I thought you would.
Ooh, I want a Pontiac Coupe.
Okay, we'll have the usual two-car garage.
Alan, brother, can I call you brother?
You may.
You're my mentor. What does this all mean?
Well, I hate to let you down, but I don't think I really know.
I wonder if all these other cars are sitting there watching us, like, drive in and going, it's the Messiah! The big red Messiah! You see it? The big red Ford! All these years we waited for him, and finally he comes with two guys to take us down off of these other cars, to gas us up, to clean us off. The old days.
That's what they're thinking. They're wrong.
Ah, how my battery longs for the old days, and Mary Lou, and White Sox.
It's kind of like, this kind of reminds me in a way of Henry and the Pagoda, too. I mean, it's just sort of there, you know? It's like, I don't know, you try to ascribe this deeper meaning to it, but maybe you're right. Maybe there is no deeper meaning. It's just there.
And the guy just wants to do it. Why not?
I feel much cooler in that big red machine than I do in real life.
In real life, I take the train.
Well, I feel 12 to 15 times cooler than I normally do in that car. Yeah.
Up from the Rio Grande, in from the rolling prairie, down clear from the eastern highlands, the cattle rolled into the old buffalo range.
Fisher is a rancher in Nebraska who, by default, became a political activist. He learned that his county, Boyd County, Nebraska, had been targeted as the site of a nuclear waste dump, and he set about trying to stop it.
We're starting to drive past the area that they're proposing to build a nuclear waste site. NRC regulations say that a nuclear waste site must not be built near a wetland, and this site is actually covered with wetlands in different areas, more than 44 acres of wetlands on this site. You know, we have probably one of the cleanest areas in the world. You know, I stand here and I say to myself, it's as if U.S. ecology found a clean spot in the world and tried to screw it up. We are a clean area. We want to keep it that way.
For the third week in a row, 718 friends and supporters of Lowell Fisher met outside the gates of the proposed nuclear waste facility. And the crowd observed 15 minutes of silence to pray for Fisher.
Lowell Fisher's 30-day fast is an astonishing feat as far as I'm concerned, because it strikes me as the kind of thing that I would never do in a million years. I'm not sure I could go 30 hours without food.
I have to kind of keep busy. I think that I tell myself, you know, that I have to think tough. And if I get tired and things like that, it gets harder to do that. But so far, I've felt pretty positive.
What's it like to be in the middle of a fast? Do you just crave food? Could you be around people who ate, for instance?
I did. You know, I wanted our family life to be as normal as possible, so I sat at the table when my family ate. It wasn't as bad as some people might think. Although one thing that didn't prove true, I had people say, well, you'll lose your desire to eat after a while. I never did. And I was glad. You know, I felt healthy and I wanted to eat. And I guarantee you I enjoy food now.
Why fasting? Why did you choose fasting as a method of resistance?
You did a lot of research into it, though.
I had looked into it a lot. I basically was pretty sure. I prepared ahead of time, went on a diet that prepared me for it. I'd looked into spiritual fasts. I'd looked into what happened with the Irish Republican Army people. I couldn't think of a better idea, basically, is why I did it. I fasted exactly 30 days. I lost 41 pounds.
What has all this done to the community?
Well, it's actually destroyed the fiber of society in Boyd County. People have turned against one another. You have people who are opposed to the dump who consider the people that are for the dump to be mercenaries. It's split families, many families that are split within the family.
Do you feel any connection to the Native Americans, the way they felt toward the land and the earth?
You know, what we did with the Indians is a national disgrace. What the federal government and state government has done in Boyd County is a national disgrace. We're very temporary. That land stays there forever.
Big farm state. Agricultural products are the chief export, but another chief export is showbiz talent. Football too. They're huge on the football thing, but let me just cite a few of the showbiz greats that came out of Nebraska. Marlon Brando, Fred Astaire, Henry Fonda, Johnny Carson. You know, imagine American showbiz without those people, and they all came from here.
Wow. I wonder if any of those guys played football.
Hello, this is Henry Fonda. Welcome to the Fonda House at the Stewart Museum of the Prairie Pioneer. This house was built between 1887 and 1890 by W.H. Hooper. It was here on May 16th, 1905 that I was born. Obviously, this house has much sentimental value to me, and I paid the moving and restoration expenses. This is Henry Fonda. I hope you enjoy your visit to the Stewart Museum.
That's bizarre. What's so bizarre about it? It's a nice little house. The guy's dead and he's talking to us.
You won't laugh. I like to go on bicycle trips, too. Do you?
And miniature golf, you're not there.
Yeah, and weenie roasts and square dances.
And baseball games and tapping pulls. I think they're swell.
Say, you like to do lots of
The problems of living in the country are no cable TV, no movies, no ethnic restaurants, not enough company. Do I want this 365 days a year? No.
Because I was always thinking before, well, the country looks nice. I don't know if I would really like to be there for a long time. And I still don't know that. But I want to get some land and I want to check it out.
But it's interesting that Middle America is not regarded as glamorous in any way by the media, but it does seem in some ways to have set the tone for what our image of America should be.
Snickers bar. I'm going to be pushing a car to Mexico. I need my energy. I know.
He's not cool.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding about pushing the car. It's that, damn, what was it again?
Gas bill. Gas bill this time.
This time, yeah. Last time, too, I believe.
Well, you know, what is it, a 60, 61 car?
It's a 64 with 1991 gasoline going into the tank.
Clogging it up. Little pieces of Kuwait in the gas line. I don't know, man. Maybe we should just get a big sale for it, you know? Like a prairie Ford.
Prairie schooner?
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the small town food? Have you had Jello yet?
No, I haven't had Jello. Please.
Usually with things like marshmallows and, you know, those little mandarin orange. Well, only if they're in heavy syrup. Only peaches in heavy syrup. You would never put a fresh piece of fruit into Jello.
No.
You just wouldn't do it. It's not done.
Is that like Midwestern cuisine?
Yeah, at its finest.
What do you think of the small town? Let's bring back memories?
I like this town. This brings back a lot of memories. I had an uncle in Kansas in a little town about this size who ran a pool hall, not unlike this one, although the color scheme was slightly more subdued.
A color scheme? You don't talk small town and color scheme in the same sentence, all right?
I do.
You go with that. Al, come back to earth, okay? We're in a bar. Don't talk color scheme, small town, okay? It's like a mellow place.
Like you hadn't noticed the green. I mean, come on. Yeah, Ray Cloud is a seriously small town. The claim to fame, the thing that puts it on the map, even though she's been dead for many decades, is Willa Cather. She identifies real strongly with the immigrant experience because at the time that she came here in the late 1800s, this town, this area, was being settled by immigrants from primarily Eastern Europe and Scandinavia. So America being a nation of immigrants, I think you can read Willa Cather as somebody who has a lot of insight into what that was all like.
This is Willa Cather's bedroom. She describes in the book The Song of the Lark. And this is the original wallpaper that she put up in the late 1800s. She worked at the local drugstore and took the money out in trade for the wallpaper that she had used when she worked there. The wind howled outside. Sometimes the white light from the snow and the half-strange moon came in through the single-in window. Each child had his own dream adventure. They did not exchange confidence. Every fellow had a right to his own. They never told their love.
But the other side of that coin, which she also writes about, is that there can be a kind of closed-mindedness and a stifling sense of being in a small town like this. And I think that's something she must have felt herself. I mean, in the final analysis, Lilith Cather spent most of her life in New York City. She was only really in Nebraska for a few years. So that dichotomy is something that's not unfamiliar to a lot of us who grew up in places like this but don't really have the ability to live there anymore.
Joe's the king because he can buy more with his wages than any other worker on the globe.
One of the things that you notice traveling in the plains of the United States is you don't see very many black people. What makes Nicodemus, Kansas so interesting is that it's this complete anomaly. An all-black town on the high plains of western Kansas that was founded in the 1870s by descendants of slaves. There's really nothing like it anywhere in the middle of the country, certainly. It's really a living museum in some ways.
History, I guess I could go back about 5 generations or so, but I had a great-great-grandfather that was part of that the settlers that moved from Kentucky, and he had a couple of daughters and who had children, and brought to my great-grandmother Clara, who married Wellington, and they had 9 children, which begot my grandmother, Ora Schweitzer, and then she had 6 children, and then I'm the next generation. And so we've just kind of weathered the storm since 1877.
What was that trip like? Did you ever hear stories about their journey from Kentucky to Kansas?
Well, they said it was a nice trip. It was tiresome, but they made it. And when they got to Kansas, well, they thought when they got to Kansas that they would get out where there would be maybe stores, houses, and homes. When they got here, wasn't anything here but the buffalo wallows and the grass and one thing and another. That made a difference. But they got together and did their thing. Some stayed and some went.
Discrimination.
That was me. I can go any place and be treated as right there. Everybody possibly can't do the same thing because everybody doesn't have the same idea, thought, or mind, and don't know how to maybe present themselves to people or act. That's all I can say because I went to segregated school early life, and I still didn't have any problems. But my brother, I had some brothers
strange living in a black town that's completely surrounded by white people?
Not for me. Not for me. But it might be for some others. My boyfriend thinks it's all right.
You got a boyfriend?
For sure.
What's he like?
I want you to get you talking so I can get to see him. He's supposed to come over here this evening.
Yeah, what's your boyfriend like? Nice guy?
He's a nice guy, but he come out of that selfish outfit. I had to train him a little bit.
And how you doing? You got him trained?
No, not exactly. Too old. Too old to get him started.
Because you never get too old for romance, right?
That's right. That's right.
This is the old neighborhood. This is my block. I'm going to stop at the house that I lived in until I was 12 years old. Now, this house was built as temporary housing during World War II, and my parents bought it and moved it here from Wichita. It's this little yellow one. They paid about $12 for it. And it's tiny. We all, my brother and sister and I, shared a bedroom in this thing, if you can believe such a story. It was tiny then. It's even tinier now, it appears. You know, we were good little Kansas kids. We used to play tornado. We had bunk beds in the bedroom, and we wrapped the bedspread around the bottom bunk, and all three of us would get in there and just kind of jump around and knock against the wall and stuff and pretend like we were in a tornado. It's sort of like the entire trajectory of American history over the past 100 years. My grandmother comes to this country in 1874 from Russia, has my father has me, well, my mother has me, and they tear down Grandma's house and build a Pizza Hut. Watching TV. Really? Yeah. So. Mom, Dad, I'm home.
Hi, Mom. Oh, gee, it's good to be home. Oh, Mom, this is Alex.
How you doing?
Good. Glad to see you finally.
Me too. This is my traveling companion on this trip, Jimmy.
How you doing?
My mom.
Nice to meet you, Mr.
My
Schroeder.
dad.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Schroeder.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Schroeder.
I was a fine traveling companion.
He's a fine Scrabble player.
Really? Come out and look at the car.
The finest two parts of a lifetime in a beautiful one.
see Uncle Henry and Auntie Em. And it's that if I ever go looking for my heart's desire again, I won't look any further than my own backyard. Because if it isn't there, I never really lost it to begin with. Is that right?
That's all it is. Are you ready now?
Yes.
It's pretty interesting. I think you're very helpful. Helpful to me.
Well, that's good. That's the Mennonite in me.
Yeah, you show me this beautiful country. You show me places I've never been. I would never be here. You understand that, right? I would never be here. I mean, I usually get on a plane in New York. I get off in L.A. I'm in a different place. Or I stop in the big cities on the way.
That's too bad. I mean, you look down, next time you fly and you look down and you see those checkerboards and those little tiny farm equipment things on the ground, and you'll remember Kansas, and you'll know that there's some good folks down here.
That's true. I don't think I'll forget this.
Next time, we're bound for the Rio Grande and the Mexican border. I'm John Hemingway. Be sure to join us for the conclusion of Alan and Jimmy's journey on travel.
Shame, shame on you.
What about that now?
Shame, shame on you.
I know it's something, but why?
Took my heart as a token. When returned, it was broken. Foolish girl, shame on you.
Yeah. Look out, Kelso.
Shame, shame on you.
This is PBS.